What's up, guys? This is David with the Guardian Games team, and we have another team member here that topped Saturday. What is your name and what did you place?
My name's Brent. I played SalamanGREAT and I came in third place.
Awesome. Let's get into the deck profile.
Alright, so it's fairly standard. I played one Lady Debug because it's one of the best cards in the deck. 3 Buffalo because it draws cards and it's really good to draw your hand traps. SalamanGREAT monsters, I played 3 Foxy, 3 Spinny. Just mandatory 3-ofs because of the Signet Mining and the Flame Buffaloes. 1-ofs, Gazelle, Jack, Falco, Foul. Also pretty standard. I considered playing 2 of this, but I actually just think that discarding it with the Buffalo isn't even that good. It's much better to discard the other ones.
Okay.
And it's good to discard with Mining, but that's like asking for a lot. And increasing it to 2 doesn't even increase your chances of opening that much. And then Foul is just good for making Dweller. That's all the monsters. I didn't play any level 3 extenders or anything because I just thought that they weren't very good. I'd rather just have more disruption cards and more extenders that don't do anything if I already have my place.
Okay, for sure.
Hand traps, 3 Ash, best card in the game. 3 Veiler. 3 Phantasme. I've seen a lot of people at the regional playing 2, like the Blessing top with 2 and David top with 2. But I figure if I play against a bad deck, then hopefully I just beat it. 2 Ogre. I really wanted to play 3, but I didn't want to have dead cards in the Mirror and Orcus, which I thought would be relatively popular, but it's really powerful against any Guard Dragon, Pendulum, or Striker deck. And then I tried maining 2 Bells. Ended up not being very good, but I wanted it for Pure Thunder because it won the UDS the week prior, and I thought it'd be a pretty popular deck, and that isn't an extremely hard matchup. I just thought it'd be broken to draw, and against Striker it was actually pretty clutch. It negates a decent amount of their cards that you wouldn't really think of, negates Shark Cannon, negates Called By if they play it, negates Kagari, and if they're a good player and go to battle phase to use Kagari, or to use Ray to go into Kagari so you can't Veiler it, Bell plays around them playing around Veiler, so that's relevant at times.
Did you ever clog on hand traps at any point?
Twice, but those games, the cards that were hand traps, they really couldn't have been anything else to make my hands playable. There was one game where I drew 5 hand traps going first and just had to pass, but it happens. And then 3 Imperm, just because the card is one of the best cards in the game.
Did you ever any situations where it conflicted with Phantasme?
Actually, not once. It was pretty nice.
Oh, but, must be nice.
But basically, if you have these 2 in your opening hand, I would just if it's a deck that I don't even need to use this, Striker or something, I might just hold it. But I either use this before I use this, or I'll use them in the same chain. So say Orcus summons Mermaid, I would just go Chain Link 1 Phantasme, and then Chain Link 2 Mermaid on the, or Chain Link 2 Imperm on the Mermaid.
Okay.
So, yeah. And if you draw it off Phantasme, you can either choose to keep it or choose to not keep it depending on the situation and what you have in hand.
Okay.
So that's all the hand traps. I played 16.
You really don't like combo decks.
No. I just think that with SalamanGREAT, basically every card you play should either be a mandatory engine card or a hand trap.
Okay.
So spell cards, I played 3 Signet Mining, 1 Circle, 1 Will, and 1 Field Spell. This is actually the exception to the rule I just said. This is kind of an extender that you don't really need. I was just trying it for the weekend because I actually never played the card before. And it was clutch maybe once or twice, but it really wasn't needed in most of the time. So that's all the spells.
Did you like mining at 3? Do you think it's necessary at 3, or could it be cut to 2?
No, I would rather play 3 because the only argument for playing 2 is what if you draw 2? But playing the third one increases your likelihood of opening it so much higher than playing 2 and seeing 2, So I'd rather just play 3. And going second, it actually really helps play through cards like Seal, helps play through Widow Anchors and stuff. Because, if you don't play 3 Signet Mining and you go second against Sky Striker and they just, Widow Anchor your normal summon, you literally have to pass turn, and I'm just not trying to pass turn.
All right, that's fair.
So trap cards, I just played 2 Rages and 2 Roars. I think playing 2 copies of these is definitely correct, even if you don't play Desires, which I saw like some guy top the YCS with. But like the reason why these are better to draw than like any actual trap card is because you want to get value out of your Sunlight Wolf. So like, and they're really good to discard with Signet Mining. So like, most people say like if this gets Ash, you just lose, but that's actually not true at all. Because like if you Signet Mining, discard any of these traps, and then have like Spinny, you could literally just have like a Spinny. You just get to like make Sunlight Wolf and add it back. So you basically just traded Ash with the Signet Mining.
Okay.
So plus more cards to discard for Foxy is actually really important. So that's the main deck, 40 cards. Probably the only thing I would change is the Bell, but like it was clutch a couple times, so who knows.
Do you know what you would change it with?
Maybe the 3rd Ogre, or like, I don't know, some hand trap, maybe like a DD Crow. I don't know, there's like nothing else good to play.
Okay.
So, alright, extra deck, 3 Banelinks, 3 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Heat Leo, and 2 Mirage Stalio. All pretty standard besides the second one of these. But I just really like it because like this deck kind of not necessarily revolves around the card, but if the first one gets stopped and you don't draw a Signet Mining or Circle, you're kind of struggling to get to the Gazelle. So I'd rather just play the second one just in case the first one gets stopped.
I saw a YCS top that only played 2 Bailings. Do you think 3 is mandatory?
Probably. I mean, like, there are games that you can get away with 2, but like in the grind game, 3 is actually kind of important because like you want its graveyard effect to always be live to play around cards like during their turn and your turn, and like so if you get out grinded and only have 2, you don't have a link 1 to make for like Jaguar and stuff to resummon out of the graveyard. So like if you only play 2 and like are top decking a monster, literally does nothing. So 3 is really important. So that's all the monsters, or I mean all the SalamanGREAT monsters. Non-SalamanGREATs, 1 Hida, 1 Phoenix, Warlord, Appaloosa. All of these are standard besides Appaloosa, but I was just testing it and it really never comes up. I mean, like, there are very niche situations where you can summon it, but most of the time it's not really worth going into. There is actually a cool combo that if you open Will or send Will with Gazelle, you can end on like your board plus this by like using Will's effect to summon, but it just doesn't come up.
Okay.
And then 1 Dweller, this card's broken. I mean, mirror match, Orcus, insane.
Did you ever want to play a second Dweller or another rank 4 at any point?
No, I mean, I don't really open a rank 4 that often, to be honest. But, like, when you do, it's usually going to be Dweller. I mean, like, I think I might replace Appaloosa with a Baguska, because Baguska is really good against Pure Thunder, and it's good against just, like, other random decks. But, like, Dweller is, like, 1 is usually fine, because in the mirror, if you go first and summon it, it's usually just, like, game. And if you go second in the mirror, you actually want to summon it going second because you want to try as hard as you can to like get through like the disruptions they have, and then just put up the Dweller and like add Gazelle back to hand, so then like they can't summon out of their grave, and then on the next turn you just try to kill them. And against Orcus, just 1 Dweller's game.
Okay.
So that's the extra deck. Side deck. Sided the 3rd Ogre because I realized like it's broken against like Pendulums and Strikers, so I just wanted the 3rd copy. 3 Lancia for Orcus because it's just auto one. That's all the hand traps that I sided. Tried siding 2 Kaijus, they were never really good. I actually wanted them for Pure Thunder because against Pure Thunder, if they just end on like one Thunder monster, then like you just Kaiju it, Mirage Stalio this back, and then pretty much every turn you have the offensive pressure of like Kaijuing them, which is pretty good. Like it puts them on better end on more than 1 fusion. Other cards, Mind Control, broken.
Why only 2 of it? Just space, or did you not think you needed the 3rd?
Just space. Like the 3rd one would have been good, probably better than the Kaiju. But I wanted to try the Kaijus, and like they were terrible. So like, yeah, we live and we learn.
Okay.
2 Cosmic. I side this for Orcus in the mirror because this card is actually just like insane against Orcus. Like I don't know why more people don't play it. So like if they just invest the resources to do Bomber and like you just Cosmic the field spell, like it's just for free. like all of their disruption leaves, and if they have the counter trap, then just bait out the counter trap with it. But you can't play like MST or Twin for that deck, like for that reason, because like they'll just summon Dengirsu and protect it. So like banishing it is like extremely relevant. And then 3 Twins for any kind of back row deck, Strikers specifically. This card's like really important to see against Sky Striker. That's all the spells. And then 2 Floodgates, 1 Imperial Order, and 1 Anti-Spell. They're just broken against a lot of decks. Even going first, I'll put this in against like Orchist. I'll put it in against pretty much anything, just because like a lot of decks play a lot of like spell extenders. And the same thing with this. This is actually just insane against like pendulums and like all the decks that play the spell extenders, because you just anti-spell them and then like have 1 disruption for whatever their normal summon is or whatever. And then like on your turn, you just heat Leo all the things that they had to set. So like you basically just get rid of like 5 cards for like 1.
I know that you said you didn't like the Kaijus. Do you think that you would play a second or third anti-spell instead of the Kaijus?
Well, I only play 1 anti-spell. So maybe the second and third, is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I might play the third Mind Control, because that card is actually just insane. But yeah. Moving forward, I think I would play Called by the Grave in my side, because if you didn't notice, I didn't main deck it. But like going into the new format with the promos, that new hand trap actually destroys this deck. So like if you play against like Pure Thunder, they'll side that definitely, just because like their grave is their banish, you know, like it's the same shit. So like you would want to side Called by for that matchup, just for that card specifically, and also it can like interrupt the Titan and whatever. So that's like a pretty good card. But I didn't main Called by the Grave, because I think in a deck where I play like 16 hand traps, it's just like terrible to like draw Called by, and like they ash something and I have ash in hand, and like I want to Called by that ash, but I also don't because I have my own ash. Plus like I just think that the deck is like not really oriented around like a combo per se, so like if they hand trap something, I'll just try to play through it. Like it's not really like, I just don't like Called by. Really the only matchup where I'd want it is Orchist, but like that's just one matchup.
Okay.
Because like going second against that deck, banishing their stuff in grave is fine, because like that's how they stop you. But, like that's the only matchup where I'd really like want it in the main deck.
Okay, for sure. So, any shout outs?
Shout out to Guardian Games, that's my sponsor. Shout out to the team. Shout out to Nick.
Yeah.
And yep, shout out to everyone I test with. And yep, that's about it.
All right. Thank you very much. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get back to you with more deck profiles probably after this weekend.